Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. I am Jake Johnson, and this is Untethered Live on a Wednesday night. Welcome to the show. Come on in, take your shoes off, set a spell. Let's have some fun tonight. I got my Marshall turned on. Thought I might play a little bit later. It's warmed up anyway, just in case. Don't have much of a voice, but I got fingers, so I can let them do the talking tonight. How's everybody? Kev, what's up, my brother? Good to see you. Good to see you. Glad you could make it. I'm still in the process of expelling all the stuff in my head, getting it out of there, you know. Through with the sick. I'm over sickness. I hadn't been sick in 3 days. That's good. But I got all this congestion that's got to come out still. So it's got me all kind of nasally and clogged up. There ain't going to be any singing, I don't think. Maybe a little. We'll see. I'm trying not to push it. I don't want to lose any ground I may have gained over this past couple of weeks, in which I've mysteriously regained some of my vocal ability that I had lost for 2 years. So you get sick once, you lose your voice, you get sick again, it brings it back. Go figure. But I'm not complaining. Keep pushing, but just barely. I'm not trying to push real hard. Mr. Bean G&W, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the show. Come on in. How are you? How's your life? How are things and stuff? Hadn't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good. Had a good day today. Worked all day, but it was a good day. Steady, not hard. Good. Glad to hear it. Still working, says Kev. I don't envy you that job. Seems like a lot of headache, but you must get paid well for it. I guess if I was getting paid that kind of money, I'd be more willing to go the distance, too. Total Blackout Painting, what's up? Aloha. Hadn't seen you in so long. You caught me with my pants down. There you go. How about that? I've been showing that thing every time I come on for the last 3 weeks. And thanking you for it every time and trying to send people to your Etsy page. I don't know if it's had an effect, but there it is. How are you, sir? I hope things are well with you. Hope you're doing lots of new and interesting stuff. Get that light out of my face a little bit. Aloha, which means hello and goodbye. And it's a form of cream cheese, I think. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm painting now. I got a Chinesium camera that I'm recording with now. Oh, that sounds pretty cool, though. So you're recording your painting. Are you going to do it like in a time lapse so you can see it happen real fast in front of you? That'd be pretty cool. That doesn't work in my profession. You just see me go. It'd be funny, but it wouldn't be impressive. Can't tell what I'm doing at regular speeds, according to what people tell me. So no matter what I do, no matter how impressive it is, it just kind of looks like my hands are like that. They move every now and then, but they don't see what I'm doing. And that's what my whole channel is. Cool. Anyway, I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. This is my workhorse. I built this guitar. It's not a Squire. It's got a Squire neck, but it's a very particular Squire neck, built, modified to be exactly like a 1960s Stratocaster neck. And the rest I built. It's got a Washburn body, which is made of mahogany, heavier, better tone, and all the electronics in it are American Stratocaster Player Series. About $1,500 guitar. All the electronics except for this back pickup here. This one, that's a PAF. That's from a Gibson. And I put it in there because it rocks. So anyway, as I was saying, this is a rather complicated, hard to play Leonard Skinner song. It's got more than 5 chords in it. And I don't know very many people that can pull it off, although there are some. But this is what it looks like when I play it. See what I'm saying? It just looks like my hand is there. It doesn't see. You can't see what I'm doing. They say I make it look easy. I'm like, no, you just aren't looking. It's not easy. Trust me. It's practice. That's what it is. April, what's up? That's it, slowed down at half speed. It's a complicated riff, but it looks very easy. Like this one. Almost the same riff. Like inverted. It's the same riff, but it's upside down. 2 different Leonard Skinner songs. That's getting the bang for your buck right there. Use the same riff, flip it upside down, make another hit song out of it. I like it. Anyway. That lovely amp you hear behind me buzzing away and sounding wonderful. That's my latest toy, my Marshall. I just got that. And it is it was described to me as a forever amp, meaning I'm not ever going to need another one. That's the one. That's it. I don't need anything else. That fits all my needs. It is the tool for the job, no matter what the job is, small or big. It can handle it. And it's expandable, so it can handle really big jobs if I needed to. That is the amp, the one I'll never buy another one. I'll never need another one. I got 2 now that I won't use anymore. They'll just be in the closet for backups. I like it. I got my little Johnson amp, which is a 50-watt amp, and I've been using it for years. It's the best sounding little amp I've ever had, but it's a little amp. It's not a big boy amp. That's a real amp right there. It's got 100 watts of tube power in it. Little 50 watts of solid state. So it's a practice amp. But I've been using it for years. And I've got a 100-watt crate head, which is about the same thing as this, only it's made by a different company, Crate, and it's not nearly the quality of this one. This one's handmade, hand-wired, made in Britain, the best stuff available. Mine, the other one, the Crate's made in China. It's on a PCB board, and it's all one piece that if it breaks down, it's just dead. It can't fix it. That you can refix it. Anything that goes wrong in it, you can fix it because it was all hand-wired. It does not have a circuit board, is what I'm saying. Yeehaw, yeah. Woohoo, that's right. I like your logo up with the wellness. Up with the wellness, yeah. Yeah. Because I'm getting better. I ain't sick anymore. That's a good thing. My last show, last Wednesday, was down with the sickness. So I figured this Wednesday I'd be up with the wellness. What do you think about that? I don't know where I'm going with that. Anyway. I was listening to The Ventures the other night and it got in me. You ever listen to The Ventures? They are the most radical, complicated, simple band ever existed. Some of their stuff is the easiest stuff in the world to play, while some of their stuff is the hardest stuff in the world to play. No vocals, maybe one song. They got Runaway. They got one song that's got vocals. The rest of it is just instrumentals, like what I just played. Like, that kind of thing. And they're just great. It's a great band. If you've never listened to The Ventures, I implore you to go out and get some right now and listen to it. It's fantastic. Sounds like you were echoing, but realized he had a room and Kevin's got his volume up. Oh, no, you're hearing me in two phones. I got you. This is a great playing guitar that I have here. Like I said, I built it. I put a lot of work into it, a lot of effort into the neck, especially. I reshaped the neck with a what they call a sanding block, but it's a sponge, but it's got rough edges. And I reshaped the whole neck to my hand with this sponge over a period of time, whacking it down little bits at a time. So this neck is perfect for my hands. And it plays great. I mean, it's a dream. I'd put this up against any American Strat on the planet, and I bet it would win. But which guitar? This is my black one. There you go. Vintage in every way, except it's not vintage. What can I say? I do my own work. So it's American made because my hands made it. But, you know, it's just a thing. It's a tool. I own, I think 30 guitars is the last I counted. Maybe a couple. There's a few that don't work because they don't really count, but they're in the list anyway. I use 3. So I've got 3 guitars that I take with me out playing. This one and 2 others, a hollow body and a Les Paul copy. And with those 3 guitars, I can pretty much get any sound I want. That's not including my acoustic guitars because I rarely play an acoustic while I'm playing an electric show. I usually do that separate. I play acoustic shows. There's no electric guitars ever. Or I play electric shows or there's no acoustic guitars ever. Doesn't have to be that way, but it just seems to work out that way. hard to play at that angle, but I'm trying. Try to play you a little stuff that you might recognize, but maybe won't give me a copyright claim. It's sweet in the case on the wall. Oh, groovy. I got one like it by Loverboy. Cool. Is it a Strat or a Squire? Because if it's a Strat, you might want to send that to me to have it inspected. I saw your Kenny Chesney guitar, by the way. Pretty cool. There is a house in New Orleans. I just realized that I had this thing. Sorry. I just realized my noise suppression was on. Y'all probably can't hear a damn thing I'm playing, can you? There is a house in New Orleans they call the rising sun. Nope, I can't do it. It's been the ruin of many young lads. God, I know I'm one. Anyway, it bums me out a little bit that I'm so hoarse that I can't sing our low song. Sorry about that. Anyway, you guys want to hear any medleys or any guitar doodles? Just let me know. I'll play it. You're right about learning how to play the electric guitar. It's easier. It is easier because it's lighter strings and it takes less pressure, but it also forgives less mistakes. If you hear everything you do, good and bad. You're at the office with Kevin, you'll let me know about it being a Strat. If it says Stratocaster on the front, the next thing I want to know is it made in America or made in Mexico or made in China or Indonesia? After that, all bets are off. If it's made in Mexico or if it's made in America, I'd like to play it. If it's not, if it's a Squire, I've got plenty of those. Talk, people. I think they're in awe of your presence. little homesick for you. Can't do that very well without a pick. Using my fingers. Oh, that's scary, LOL. What's scary? Homesick? That's I believe the Allman Brothers did that song first, but Travis Tritt brought it back out. I like his version of it. Play one that you can do that won't hurt your voice. I don't know that there is one. I like those. I guess it's a fifth away. Octave, maybe. I use those a lot when I play leads. A little bit of the Eagles for you. Anyways, enough of that. Put that away for a minute. How's everybody doing? You guys having a good time so far? Me thinks nobody's interested in talking tonight. That's all right. I'll talk enough for you. Whoever just joined the chat, much love. Is somebody. And we just need a little help from our friends. You know you gotta have a little help from your friends. I wish my voice was in better shape tonight. Sorry about that. Kind of hoarsely. I'm painting, LOL. That's cool. It's good for you. Especially if you're making money while you're painting. That'd be a good thing. April says, I'm having fun. I had a couple of good shows last weekend. Both were good shows. And then a band practice this week on Tuesday. And then one day next week, I think it's Saturday, I got another show coming up. I think it's Saturday. So I should be here Friday. But if I'm not here Friday, it's because I had to go play. April says, take a break. Well, early bird can't catch the worm if he's taking a break. Man's got to make his money. I don't blame him. Paint away. I just want to see the work when you're finished with it. It's always fun. You see, I still got your painting up. I like so good this purple one here. Purple and red, gray. That's a very good backdrop. It's got my colors are in it. I like that. This here, this color up at the, I guess it'd be your top left corner. See the red, and then it goes to dark red right there. You can't see my mouse, but you get what I'm saying. It goes from red to dark red. That dark red is my favorite color. They call it ox blood. You probably have another name for it, but then you do Saturn. I don't know what planet that is, or if it even is a planet. It may just be a picture. Just a random celestial oddity. Could be a planet, though. I'm sure he could. I can't. I'm not a painter, but I'm sure he can. I can barely scribble my name. I used to be a pencil artist back in the day, but I had to make a decision. I had so many things going on. I was playing the guitar, I was doing art, and I had other things going on, and I had to whittle it down. And I was like, well, what's most likely I'm going to make money at? What am I the best at? And whatever I didn't meet the criteria, I cut out of my life and stopped doing. So no more pencil art for me. And now my hands hurt so bad I can't hold a pencil anyway, so what's the point? You know, if you go outside right now, you can see Saturn. It's as close to the Earth as it's been in hundreds of years. Saturn and Venus is right out there, really bright. It's the brightest two stars in the sky. Or they were last night. They're probably still out there. Oh, you're not going to mess it up. You'll do fine. My last in the series was leaving Jupiter, so I'm hitting Saturn. I hear you. April says, I like the rings. They're cool looking. Oh, really? I'd love to see it. When it's done, don't be scared. You are an amazing artist. I concur. The sun's not all the way down here yet. Well, if you get the chance this evening, go out and see if you can't see they're right beside each other. And they're the brightest thing in the sky. I saw them last night. One of them, the lower one is Saturn, and the upper one is Venus. So I've been told. They look very close, though. Like very close. Like in the atmosphere close. But that's what they say it is. So if you're interested, they're out there. Don't jinx yourself. I'm confident it'll be magical. Well, if this picture that's in my background is any indication, it will be, because this is a pretty spot-on picture. Very detailed, very concise lines. I like it. I like it a lot. Total blackout, and I appreciate you letting me show it. And any of your art is welcome on my channel at any time. All you got to do is send it to me, and I'll pop it up there if you're into that sort of thing. I may even purchase one from you one day when I make a little money. So far, I've been just skimming by barely. My phone got cut off this morning before I could get it cut back on this afternoon, so that'll tell you how close I am to the razor's edge all the time. Just barely making it, but I'm making it, so I can't complain. It's all extraordinary, truly. Yes, it is. The universe is a breathtaking concept. I have a pretty big brain, and it rattles my cage to even consider just the closeness of our solar system. I ain't even thinking about the rest of the universe out there. Just this stuff that we can see rattles my cage. I don't know how anybody could contain that much knowledge or that much curiosity, because it goes on forever. I don't know that there is an end. And if there is an end, it surely circles back on itself. Who knows? I know one thing for certain: we will never know. I'm fairly sure of that. We'll never know, because we won't be able to get out that far. People on TV like to talk a lot, but that's not reality. You know, like people talking about moving to Mars, and well, it sounds like you could just hop on a jet plane and move right to Mars, don't it? No, there is absolutely nothing on Mars, not even material. Like you have to build the material out of the raw ore. There's nothing there. There's no trees to make stuff with there. So it's doubly hard. To be sure, the first 100 people that go to Mars will probably die on Mars relatively shortly thereafter. Jake, you are the best, love. Ha, ha, ha. Thank you, dear. I appreciate you. Not in this life. That's what I'm saying. It's a pipe dream is what it is, and it's a fantastic dream to have, but reality dictates that you're not going to live out there. Everything out there wants you dead. Everything out there is trying to squash you into nothingness. Trust me, there's nothing out there for us. Nothing. We might get lucky with the asteroid belt. We might be able to send some unmanned drones out there to mine the asteroid belts and bring some gold or some, palladium back or something. Who knows? But that's about it. We might even get really lucky and go to one of those moons of Saturn there that is full of some type of methane or something, some kind of gasoline that you can burn it. The whole atmosphere rains methane, that sort of thing. We might be able to get lucky there and build us a never-ending gas station out of that little moon. But that's it. There's nothing else beyond that we're going to be able to do out there. Maybe I could get behind a base on the moon because there's caves and they can wall it off and make a natural, underground base and fill it full of oxygen. There's stuff there to produce oxygen, so that's possible. That's a big maybe, though. Most likely, it's very harsh on the moon. I'll see it after this one. I know, right? How would humans breathe? They wouldn't. That's the point. Anything that you need, you'll have to take there with you. That includes water, oxygen, food, anything, sunblock. If you need it, you got to bring it with you, which adds to the weight of the ship that takes you, which means less equipment gets to go because you require a lot of water over a period of a week, Something like a gallon a day is what you absolutely have to have, something like that. So if you think about you're going to be there for a year, that means you got to take a year worth of water with you or get it there somehow so that it's there when you're there. Because there's no water to drink on the moon or on the Mars. And even if there was, even if they found a fountain, there ain't no telling what's in it. There's no telling that you could drink it and survive it. It'd have to be purified first, It might be any kind of microbes or dust or just alien things that the body can't handle, Don't even have to be alive. It could just be like alien dust that has jagged edges that when you drink it, it charades your stomach up, Shreds your stomach. Who knows what's out there? But I know it ain't friendly. I know that. And I know it ain't smart to go out there messing around. Not meant for humans. God let man make ships and go to the moon, and that's about it. Yeah, I agree. Nobody has 100% satisfaction by going up there. Lucky they made it back to Earth. That you don't know how right you are. One of them just about didn't make it back to Earth. That Apollo 13, the whole reason that made a movie is because on the way there, their ship screwed up, and they likely died trying to turn around and come back. And they just about suffocated. They just did make it. I mean, if they'd had to be one more hour out there, they'd have died. And it's just that fragile. I mean, just anything. A micrometeor could hit the side. You'd never even see it. You'd never even hear it. Just a little ping, and next thing you know, your oxygen's gone, you know. And then what are you going to do? Can't make more. Not that quickly. So, the whole idea, I love the idea of Star Trek, but it's not logical. It's not reality. It's a beautiful dream, though. I'll watch it all day long on TV, and people can act it out as if they're doing it, but it ain't ever going to happen. Not in my lifetime, anyway. And probably not my kids' lifetime. Which brings up the next thought, artificial intelligence. Everybody's worried about AI right now. It's become sentient. It can answer questions like a human. Questions that you programmed it to answer, right? Yeah, but still, it sounds human. We're worried it'll take over the world. My thoughts? Well, as long as there are glasses of water or sledgehammers in the universe, I'm pretty sure AI ain't a problem, because I have never met a laptop that could withstand having a cup of coffee spilled on it. So if it gets out of hand, knock your drink over and walk away. That's all I'm saying. Come on, Elon Musk. Who are you trying to scare here? It ain't me. No, the reason we hadn't been back to the moon, think about it. Millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. The whole nation involved. All the media, NASA, the government. Top scientists flew up there. And what did they do when they got there? They picked up some rocks and came home. Played a little golf and then came home. Not my idea of a expedition, if you know what I'm saying. They were there 14 times, as far as I know. Somewhere around there. Maybe a little less, a little more. Around 14 times. There's like 25 people that have been on the moon. And what they've achieved is they rode a golf cart on the moon. They played golf on the moon. They brought some rocks back from the moon. And they drove a flag into the moon, which is now most undoubtedly bleached white. And nobody will ever see it. That's it. That's what they did on the moon. No scientific studies. I mean, they said they were doing some stuff, but what's come out of it, really? I mean, can you think of one thing they learned from going to the moon? Nothing. I always wondered when in those movies, landing on different planets, how the hell were they breathing? Well, because it's in the script and because they were landing on Earth. They just called it something else. But it's a movie. You can allow for things like that. In real life, this is the only planet that we know of, and in all likelihood, it's the only one in existence that has oxygen in the right combination for us to breathe. All of the other planets in the solar system, all the ones we can see or detect, none of them have breathable atmospheres. None of them have atmospheres that wouldn't cause you to have cancer in about 3 days because of the radiation, because they don't have the magnetic field that we have that keeps us protected from such things. Reality is a bitch. And the reality of it is, this place is special because it's the only place we can live. There's nowhere else to go. I mean, there's a couple of planets that are close that with a little bit of work in a couple of 100 years' time, we could make it livable, force it to be livable, but it'd be just like building a beach. You have to force the ocean by making breakwaters to be calm. in this little area so that you can have a beach there. And you bring in fake sand from somewhere else and layer it all over the beach so that you have a beach environment that's clean, presentably, looks clean anyway, and calm water's coming in. But if you don't have that breakwater and the people don't go out there and build that wall, you don't have a beach or a lagoon or whatever you want to call it, a bay. It's all artificial. A real ocean just crashes against the rocks and keeps going, you know. So if we went to the places, we'd have to force it by putting in man-made things that we would have to then maintain to keep it livable. And at any given moment, it could revert back to being non-livable, just like a breakwater can break, and the next thing you know, you have a tidal wave. So it is not feasible to want to go to another planet because it'd be stupid to do so. I kind of agree with the congressmen on this, and I hate to say it because I love the idea of space travel, but it's true. Why can't we send drones out there, robots? They don't die. They don't need to breathe. So if we can operate them from Earth in the safety of a building, why not do that? It'd be a lot cheaper and a lot safer, and nobody has to die to get there. Now, if you come across something worth checking out, then send people to it. I've already seen man-made lakes dry up. Yep. Humanity started on Venus. We ruined that planet and moved to the closest habitable planet, Mars. While on Mars, we terraformed Earth and moved here quickly after we blew the atmosphere off Mars. That sounds good. That's in my fun sci-fi theory. I hear you. I like it. Well, the truth is we have 4 planets here that are very similar. Mercury, Venus, Mars, and Earth. They could be called sister planets, Mercury being the worst one. But Venus, Earth, and Mars are very similar. And there was another planet at one time beyond Mars that we call Tima in the old days. And there's Mesopotamian drawings, or not drawings, but you know how they do stuff in stone that show the 10th planet in there. And now there's an asteroid belt there, which leads me to believe that that planet, for whatever reason, met its demise and now is strewn across the universe in this asteroid belt. But at one time it was there, and it was there that we could see it. So there's record of it being there on cave walls and stuff in Mesopotamia and in China and things like that. But I'm pretty sure we started here and we've never left here. I'm pretty sure this is a closed system, contrary to popular belief. Because if space is a vacuum, which they claim it to be, vacuum means devoid of all other things, which has a natural negative pressure, suction, that we would refer to it as suction. And we live on a planet that's surrounded by gas that we breathe and depend on to breathe. And there's 4 or 5 layers of that gas in different quantities and different strengths and toxicities, all the way up to nothing. It's a very thin atmosphere if you look at it from the edge. So how's that atmosphere staying there if it's surrounded by a vacuum? Because if you take a canister full of air and put it in a vacuum, the canister will then implode and all the air will escape into the vacuum, because that's how vacuums work. You can see it happen live on any YouTube channel that does things like that. So why hasn't Earth imploded and the air, the gas on Earth escaped into the vacuum as it would? Because positive pressure finds negative pressure until it's equalized. That's how vacuums work. The reason it doesn't is because we live in a closed system. There is a separation between the vacuum and the gas. That separation is not penetrable, despite what anybody would have you believe. That's logical anyway. April says, great theory, total blackout. I like it. And then she says, balls of it. I don't know what you mean there, but it sounds dirty. True, but the earth is constantly spinning. Yes. That has no bearing on the gas that's on it. And that's if you believe it's spinning. I just emailed you the thing I just painted. Excellent. I'll check it out. Thank you. I'm sure it'll be lovely. Balls of gas, I meant to say. I got you. It's gravity. What's gravity? Are you suggesting that gravity is the reason that the gas stays to the earth? Is that the same gravity that will hold the ocean to the surface of the curved earth, yet will allow a butterfly to float across the top of it without crushing it? No, gravity is very weak. Gravity is not responsible for that. It can't do that. Contrary to popular belief, it's centrifugal force that keeps us to the ground, not gravity. Gravity assists, but it's a very weak force. It does not have the strength to do what you're referring to, according to all the science I've seen anyway. And that's very sporadic because scientists with a capital S tend to lean towards things that fit within a little narrow box of their ideology. And it's hard to get through all of that garbage to find the actual science where people are actually studying a thing and trying to figure it out, rather than trying to make it fit into their ideology, which both Christians and scientists alike could do that. It's very hard to find the truth of things, which is why I say things like, if you believe the earth is spinning. Because the truth is, and this is the truth, I am a scientist, but I also have never been outside of the atmosphere, so I can't verify that any of that's true. I have to take somebody's word for it, or read it as a book that somebody wrote, who also has never been out there to see it. So, is the earth round or flat? I could not answer that question honestly. I can tell you what I think, but I can't answer that honestly because I've never seen it. I can quote to you the people who matter, what they say about it, and the contradictions that lie in the things that they say. I can point that out, but that's just adding to the conspiracy of things. It's not a conspiracy if you see it with your own eyes and understand what you're looking at. That's the kind of thing I try to stick to when I teach, because there's a difference between telling somebody what I think or what I assume as opposed to telling somebody something that I know because I've checked it out and I've done the research and I know what I'm talking about. That I will tell you. If I don't have that information behind it, I will never cop to knowing something that I don't know. Like, is the earth round? Your guess is as good as mine, dude. I think it is. Kind of looks that way from where I'm standing. But it could just as easily be a plane of existence. All the math would add up either way to the same numbers. That's the beauty of it. It's meant to keep you in confusion. Because if you would do the math for a round earth, there's certain rules, like the curvature has to be it has to be solid all the way around, the curvature. It can't vary. But that math, if reversed, says the exact same thing in the reverse, that it has to be flat because there's no way that water can curve, for example. So, according to math, it could go either way. According to my eyes, if somebody will give me a ride out to the atmosphere on a big spaceship, I'll tell you. Other than that, I can't tell you. You should work in a laboratory. You'd be a great teacher and leader, love, but God wants you to work for him, amen? Well, that's what I'm doing. This is a laboratory. You are my subjects. And I am teaching and leading by example. It's just a very small group of people that are following me. And it's because I'm not out there promoting me. Because if I do that, then I'm a televangelist, and I ain't trying to do that. I'm trying to do the opposite of that. I'm trying to provide truth and honesty and integrity, and I'm trying to hope that people will come to it, will be drawn to it, because it's true and integral. Maybe that ain't the case. Maybe people like to have the wool pulled over their eyes and smoke blowed up their ass. And if that's the case, I'm the wrong guy. It won't work. I hope not. I hope that I can influence people by telling the truth. But I'll just have to wait and see if that's what God wants. I started this thing because he told me to do it. I'll continue it until he tells me to stop doing it. But I can't go out there pushing it and promoting it and, trying to sell it, because the minute I start selling it, it becomes a product, and that's a different thing than reality. Some people I know don't understand that concept. They think I'm doing something wrong by not promoting it. But again, I say, would you rather hear the truth from a source of truth, or would you rather have a product that tells you the truth? A product that's sold by a company which is there to make money. That's the primary goal of a company. I'm trying not to be that. I do need to make money. Obviously, I need to eat. But that's it. I'm not trying to make a killing. I'm just trying to make a living, If I wanted to make a killing, there's lots of other things I could be peddling than religion. For example, I could make a lot of money off this flat earth thing because people are eager to believe that shit, and they're all over the world, and they want to hear it. They had to ban it from YouTube. That's how popular it got in like a year. And if I just wanted to make money, I've got enough bullshit wrapped up in me that I could keep that going for years. I'd be killing it. I'd be raking in the dough, going at these conventions and talking and stuff. I'm really not trying to do that. And I hope that you guys can see the effort that I'm putting out, trying to be earnest and humble and not be a salesman. And I hope you appreciate that, because ain't everybody going to do that. It takes a pretty special amount of stupid to not want to make a living. And I just happen to be that kind of stupid, so you're welcome. I've been working for free most of my life anyway, one way or another. But honestly, I'm not stupid, no. I am, I sometimes wonder because I make questionable decisions. Like, hey, I'll just start another project that won't bring in anything. Smart. I could just get a job. Another one. Ain't but so many hours in the day, though. I'm already looking for places to sleep. Moments to sleep. Got too much going on. But think about this, though, honestly. Why are so many people so eager to jump on that flat earth thing so quick? Well, two reasons. Number one, it has the stink of a religion. It's got that kind of the rules and the mantras and the things that people chant, and, it's little quick, rememberable things. That's one thing. The other thing is because science is not doing an adequate job of explaining the world around us, thereby leaving people with lots of questions. Good questions. Good questions. Like, if the earth is round and it's 25,000 miles in circumference at the equator, why is it that you can see certain mountain from a certain place that's way too far away for it to be possible if there's a curvature? Because you'd be looking up above it instead of around the curve to it. And then there's atmospheric lensing and distorted effects because of distance and that sort of thing comes into play. And every question, there's an answer and a rebuttal, but nobody ever quite gets to the truth of the matter. And the reason is because it's freaking hard to explain. That's why. Because God is masterful in his creation. He designed it to be complicated. He confounds the wise with simple things. And he keeps the stupid busy with complicated things. Simple. But that's it. That's why. That's it in a nutshell. It's because it feels good. It feels religious-y. And, people need religion in their life. They just don't want to claim this crazy one that people keep killing other people over. That's what atheism is. Atheism is a religion, by the way. It's just as much a religion as Christianity. It just minuses the God part. Because people are hardwired, they're programmed to need a religious thing to involve their soul into. It's in our blood. It's in our DNA. If we didn't have religion, we'd do other things like worship rock stars or, know every detail of Kim Kardashian's life. That's what happens when you remove religion. Something else takes its place. But you have to have that there as part of the human experience. So things like the flat earth and other things, the mysteries about the Vatican and Egypt and all these other things have that same smell to it, and people gravitate towards it. And I am a wizard, by the way. To borrow a phrase from a comedian, I am a wizard. I am very well versed in the how to put together a simple phrase that will cause you to remember it and repeat it. You know what I'm saying? And if I were to apply those things to my speech, I could very easily hypnotize you into thinking everything I wanted you to think. That's how this job works. It is mass hypnosis. You go to a show and you're a perfectly reasonable human being with thoughts and desires and emotions, and pretty soon you're jumping up and down singing the words to every song. Yeah, at the top of your lungs. Have no idea why you're acting like a 3-year-old. It's because everybody else is acting like a 3-year-old, and you're in the mass hypnosis. The artist has done his job of reeling you in to this little shared experience that we're building here. That's what I do for a living. I go out and I play shows and I create a mood, I create an atmosphere, and people buy into it for a couple of hours. And for a couple of hours, they're entertained and they forget about the world outside. And they in my little bubble where I can make them feel whatever I want them to. I can make them say or do whatever I want them to. I've had them take their clothes off before, and they did it because they wanted to. Because they're involved in this little mass hypnosis that I created. That's what this job is. Orator, public speaker, keynote speaker, entertainer, public figure. That's what I do. So it would be very easy for me to go in that direction with this podcast by using little short phrases, by giving things little nicknames, by, say, calling everybody that watches me dogs. You're in the dog pound. Put a little doggy emoji on your name and you're one of the club, for a small fee. Now you're a member. And if you got that little dog emoji, you're susceptible to perks. You get things that other people don't get. That it's very easy to do things like that. Little T-shirts and keychains and little logos and expressions. Like, hell no, we won't go. That's why that's rememberable, because number one, it's short. Number two, it rhymes. And number three, it's easy to remember. That's why. So I try very hard not to do those things on purpose. I'm trying to talk articulately without conscripting you into my little hypnosis. I'm trying to do it the right way. I'm trying to be a public speaker for the truth. And that's a very fine line to walk down, a very hard little place to be. But it's possible. It's been done before. It can be done. It is human nature. You're right. Yes, I know what you mean. I was an entertainer too. I'm not saying you weren't. I'm just telling you that's what we're doing. We're building that atmosphere. Yep, touching people's hearts by song. That's the best experience I've lived besides having children. Yep, but imagine what it felt like for the other person. Put yourself in their shoes. And then when you realize that you can do that on command, that you can cause that to happen, now you're in business. Now you can use that like a wizard to cast a spell, and your little spell is called crazy, and you get people that feel this way when they hear that song, and now you can use that to your benefit. You can use their emotion. With their heightened emotions, you can drain from them. You can pull from them the things that you need out of them. This is called wizardry, and it is a well-practiced phenomenon. Politicians do it all the time. You ever notice how a politician talks? You notice how all of them kind of do this when they're talking? Because it drives home the point. It makes you think they're talking something serious, right? and their cadence changes. Nobody talks like that, by the way. News anchors and politicians, those are the only two people that talk that way. Maybe radio DJs, stripper DJs. But it's because it elicits an emotion. It causes people to respond to what you're saying, not even think about what you're saying, but just respond to the tone of your voice. And if you do it right, you can draw in people, and then they will fight to their deaths to defend the thing that you said, even though they don't even believe in it. They just found themselves in that little mass hypnosis. It's wizardry. It's been practiced for thousands of years. It's the secret. It's what people that are in high places, they know these secrets and they know how to use these techniques, and they keep people. And one of the ways is to cause a division. Say I got 10 people in the room, and I put 5 of them against the other 5 by identifying with 5 of them. I pick out a thing that they all agree with, but the other 5 don't. Now I've created division, and that division can fuel growth on both sides because people will come to their defense, and next thing you know, my numbers are going up. Is that dishonest? Yes. That's why I'm not doing it. But don't make the mistake of thinking I don't know how to do it. I'm just not doing it because it's dishonest. But that's how a lot of people do it. That's how the show Seinfeld got so popular, because he alienated half of the country, and the other half of the country he conscripted with his nonchalance into watching a show about nothing. And if you go back and watch, was there like 8 or 10 seasons of Seinfeld? There is absolutely zero content in all of that filming, all of the footage they filmed for 10 seasons, however long it ran. There is no content in it. It's all nonsense. It's all random. There isn't even any character growth in 10 seasons. They're the same people they were when they started, talking about the same things. They say the same thing every week, just in a different way, but it's the same nonsense. It's something about nothing. Brilliant. The love and energy gives that one more fire to put on a beautiful show. Yep. Oh, yeah. But here's a little secret. You don't even have to feel good to put on a good show. All you have to do is tap into the thing that the people that are watching you are looking for. And that's easy enough to fake. Just put on an instamatic smile. See that? It's not real, but it looks real. It's just a practiced thing that you do. Like wearing a certain type of clothing, or standing a certain way, or raising your voice at a certain time at a particular crescendo, causing people to get up off their feet or on their feet. You know, things like that. That's all mathematical. You can write it down as an equation and teach it. These are all things that people can learn to do. And it's very hard when you're in that business, especially, to not do those things, because you're aware of their effect. I'm aware of how people perceive me. I'm aware of how I come across. May not be much I can do about it, and if it seems like I'm being an asshole, it's usually because I'm trying to avoid actually being an asshole by selling you something you don't want. You know, I'm trying to go away from that, because it's very easy, especially when you're dealing with religion, because it's built right into that system. You read the book, you can see it happening in the book while they're talking to you. Yep, people see and feel your positive and your negative. It doesn't matter if it's real, it just matters as if you're presenting it. You can see this effect in a crowd. Like, a person is smart. A person can make rash decisions. A person can analyze a situation and come away with a point of view. But people, a group of people, are dumb, cagey, and easily panicked, and generally do what the masses do. If these people are doing it, they're going to do it too, because that's what people do. If you don't believe that, just go to the mall or anywhere there's a lot of people and just kind of find you a corner and sit back and just watch. And you'll watch people, they'll walk in the same patterns. They'll follow each other around. It's like watching an ant colony, you know, in and out, in and out. They're just buzzing around. Same kind of people, same kind of dress, same kind of attitude. There goes the stroller and the lady with the yoga pants on and the ball cap with her little ponytail sticking out the back and her latte. There's no baby, but there's a baby cart. And you see that over and over and over. And pretty soon you start picking up on patterns if you're the type of person that can pick up on patterns. And you start seeing that there are the same kinds of people in very many locations. It's like they're carbon copies of the last guy. And then there's groups of them. And they all tend to do the same things and go the same routes and look at the same shows and buy the same things and talk the same way. That's called a clique, right? In high school, you can see it in high school. There's the goth kids and the nerdy kids and the jocks and the cheerleaders, and they're all in little groups, and they all look like everybody in that group. If you're aware of this, you can use it. You can appeal to one of those groups and draw them in. You can take two groups and combine them together and give them a common goal and draw them in, right? You can pit one group against the other group and draw them in. It's real easy to do when you see how it's done. And most people don't think like that. Most people don't realize it. That's why they're so easy to fall for it. They call them a mark for a reason. And they call a grifter for a reason. Because that's the game they're playing. And life is a game, make no mistake about it. And most people play it like a game. I don't. I never have. That's why I'm not successful. Because I didn't want to play the game. I wanted what happened to me to be something real. Something that I deserved. And that was probably very naive of me. But looking back on it, I think I made the right decision. Because the cost of what I was after is more than I was willing to pay. More than I could bear. What I wanted, what I was after, was a life in the business, being on the big stage. And so happens the price for that is your soul. And I was able to see that early enough to get away from it, to not do it. And a lot of people don't get to see it. A lot of people fall right in. Oh, we're going to be famous. Okay, let's do it. Well, I get it. Fine, I'll sign it away. Next thing you know, they don't have a soul. It's gone. It belongs to the company. Now, you can call that satanic. You can say it's selling your soul to the devil, whatever. What it really means is you sign away all your rights and all of your ambitions and all of your God-given talents to be managed by the company, which means you're no longer a person, you're a product. Well, when you're a product, you don't get a say. You don't get to be yourself. You get to be whatever the company wants you to be. You dress like they want you to dress. You wear what they recommend you wear. You talk the way they tell you to talk. You walk the way they tell you to walk. And most especially, you play what they tell you to play and nothing else, because that don't fit the narrative. Well, once you become a machine that belongs to the company, you no longer have a soul. You no longer are an individual. You are a cog in the machine, and that's a price I wasn't willing to pay because I could have gotten it. But the first act, the first thing they asked me to do, first thing, I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but I was sitting across the table from the head of Mercury Records and Epic Records and Curb Records. All three of them were there. I've been in that position twice, sitting across the table from the guy who could sign me to a record deal, who wanted to sign me to a record deal. The first thing they asked me to do was betray my band. Small price to pay. We want you, but we don't need them. Well, yeah, it might be a small price to pay, but it's going to cost me a lot because there's three guys there who I'm deeply connected to, who are my friends, who have had my back since day one, and you want me to throw them under the bus for a record deal. Well, yeah, I mean, it's a small price to pay. We'll bring in the musicians that make you sound the way we think you should sound, and we'll give you the song, and we'll record you doing it, and then we'll sell it. None of that sounds like anything I wanted to do. I write songs. I don't need somebody else to write my songs. I live it, I put it on paper, and then I sing about it. Isn't that what you're supposed to do? Well, no, that's not how we do it anymore. That's how they did it in the 70s. Now, it's all done by committee. We make a decision on the best product that sells at the time, and we put out a product that works for that genre, and we sell it, and we make a lot of money, and you'll get a lot of money, a penny for every record, as I recall. What I would make would be in showing up to play somewhere and T-shirt sales and things like that, and they get a cut of that too, by the way, but not as much as the record. The record is the big deal. You get that, but they get all the money. They'll give you a little sign-on bonus, say $50,000 to get you started. Here's what they don't tell you. Before this record contract up, which is for a year, you have to pay that back because it ain't your money. It's their money. You're just borrowing it so you can buy a bus or whatever people do with it. And then you have to pay it back. And where does that money come from? It comes out of your pocket, out of your cut, out of your end. You think they would promote you and sell you and then you could pay back the money they make? No, it don't work that way. You pay it back whether you make any money or not, because now we own you. And if you don't pay it back, by the way, then you're in breach of contract and we can sue your ass for the rest of your life. You will never make music anywhere because we'll own it until you are paid back. That's a small sign-on bonus, $50,000. Most people get $100,000, $125,000, $200,000, $1 million. It's happened. Not often, but it does happen. So the first thing they wanted me to do was betray my band. What do you think the next thing they want me to do would be? If the first thing goes against my morals as a human being, what do you think the next thing they're going to ask me to do would be? How far down that list would be worship the devil? Ever notice how all the big stars are doing quite devilish things on TV right now? One of them even came out dressed like the devil. They've had seances and shit right there on live television. Halftime Super Bowl, the Oscars. Look at that stuff. Really look at it. You think they're all doing that because they're all esoteric thinkers and they're all trying to make the same point? Or is there something more going on with the sacred geometry and the secret words and the one eye thing and the butterfly, monarch butterfly thing? You think they're all thinking that? Rappers and country artists alike? Or is there something else going on? How far down the list are they from that first question, which is, a small human sacrifice, and you can be famous for the rest of your life? You ever notice how many famous people had somebody die right before they got famous? Like immediate death, like in the family, like their spouse? Go take a look. It'll shock you. Yes, everybody dies. Yes, there's nothing mysterious about people dying. But in conjunction with the thing we're talking about, person's fiance dies in a horrible car crash. The next day they're famous. This happens over and over and over and over again, to the point where some people have begun to ask, are these sacrifices? You make a sacrifice and you get fame for it. I don't know that that's the truth. It's a conspiracy, but it is out there. People have mentioned it. Very curious, that record business. Humble is better than the game. I agree. Kevin says, I apologize for being quiet. I just got done with work, and I'm beat. I hear you, brother. I'm just about to get done with work myself. And slowed down since 5 a.m., so I understand you. You're absolutely right, Jake. Yep, 10 years. What's 10 years? What are you referring to with the 10 years? Hey, while we're on the subject of, surviving, contracts are 10 years. Now, most of them are a year. Some of them are 3 years, but I ain't never seen a 10-year contract. That's a lot of years. But anyway, while we're talking about surviving, won't you guys do me a favor and help me survive by hitting that subscribe button and pressing the bell icon so you get notifications of when I'm going to be online and when my new videos drop. Smash that like button. It's free. It's right in front of you. It takes no effort at all, and it really does help the channel with the algorithms, and it helps us get recommended to other people, and that's what you really want. So hit that like button. That helps us out a lot. Another thing that helps is sharing the video. So if you love what you heard tonight, share this video with somebody you love. Better yet, share it with somebody you don't love. Bring them into the family. Make them part of the fold. Be part of their solutions, not part of their problems. And just for me, because I like to hear from you, leave a comment down below and let me know what you're thinking about. Question me, curse me, bless me, challenge me, confront me, conform with me, drink my Kool-Aid. Hey, make your own Kool-Aid as long as you're thinking critical. That's what I really want. Critical thought coming from that brain of yours. And hey, if you dig what I'm doing and you can see the value in what I'm trying to create and you'd like to help out, be part of something special, support the work of the man working for you. You can do that by going to paypal.me/jakejohnsonband, or if you're a CashApp user, you can go to $JakeJohnsonBand. Every little bit helps. It's a win-win. It is a blessing for me, for sure. But it's also a blessing for you, because anytime you're involved in something, you are part of what happens. And this program is brought to the world by viewers just like you. Don't you want to be one of them? Do that, and I will finish this video out by answering all of your questions and comments. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Enjoy the rest of the video. What a lovely day it is. What a lovely day it is. Are you feeling good? I'm feeling good. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I'm snotty. Mostly snotty. With a slight chance of blowing my nose. If I ever get this congestion out of my head, I'll be all right. But I got to get there first. Interesting thing, this COVID virus. Interesting how it comes about, how long it lingers. I mean, I was sick for 2 weeks, 2 7-day periods. Got sick twice in that 2 weeks. It's almost like I reinfected myself. But that wasn't the case. What it was is I got COVID, went through it and got over it, and then I got a sinus infection from the COVID, and then that made me sick, and I went through that and got over it, and now I'm on the end of that. That's what happened. But it felt like I just kept getting sick. Every other day I'd be running a fever. Well, where does fever coming from? And as long as you're running a fever, you're contagious. Remember that. So if you have a fever, stay out of people's faces. Don't wear a mask. Makes you look stupid. Anyway. Questions, comments, criticisms, catharses, calendars, coconuts, cranberry sauce. You tell me. Go take a whiff of ammonia. That'll clear your sinuses. I bet it will. Might clear my brain cells, too. I have some mentholatum nose spray here. It does pretty good. But it's just I got to get all that stuff out. You know what I mean? It's all caked in there, clogged in there. I don't even know where it all came from. I feel like I've snotted out a 5-gallon bucket of snot, and I don't even know if that much can fit in your head. No wonder I had a headache for 2 weeks. My brain was being squeezed to death by all the snot in my head. Come on, April. Time to go get something to eat, huh? I think I'm going to skip eating tonight and go straight to bed. I didn't get much sleep this week. And I'm catching up. Jeez, I'm coming, Kevin. Well, I hope you guys have had a good time tonight. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. I did. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me and sticking it out on the slow nights like this. It'll pick back up. We got to get back into the rhythm of things. I need to catch up too. I hear you. And can't never get too much sleep when you're old. I have found that I've slowed down quite a lot. I used to never take naps. Now, if I can get a nap, I'll get one. I love you, true. Have a good night, Jake. Sleep. Have a good night's sleep, all right? And I'm going to try my best. Believe that. I'm going to go lay her down. I'll probably watch the new episode of Star Trek and the new episode of Last of Us if I last that long. And then I'm going to crash out. It may not last that long because I'm kind of sleepy now. But I got to get up early in the morning and go to work, so probably need to go to bed. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the playing at the start of the show. I hope I didn't run anybody off with my doodling. I know I can't sing right now, but I'll get back to it. Keep forgetting to turn this noise gate on and off. Need to create a button for it right here in my face. On, off. Sweet dreams, love you, and all true. May God bless you, loves. May God bless you too, sweetheart. I hope you guys have a good night. And go get something to eat. Kevin says, I'm still here. No sports update. No sports other than basketball. However, baseball is starting in March. Madness is upon us. That's excellent. Get a little baseball action going. Better up. Steer 3. You're out of here, buddy. You're fine, hun. Talk to you later, more. Well, alrighty then. I guess I'll leave too. Ain't nobody else to talk to. You leave, I'm sitting here talking to myself. All right. Well, you guys have a great night. I love you, true, and I'll see you on Friday. Maybe my voice will be back to normal by then. Maybe I'll get back into the swing of singing. Thank you guys so much for being so interesting and keeping that chat moving on a slow night like tonight. I appreciate you more than you know. I love you all true from the bottom of my heart. I do, and I can't wait till the next time we can do this again. Be nice when you go out into the world tomorrow. Take care of somebody and see it change your life. I promise you it will. Good night. God bless you. Peace be with you, and thanks for watching.